So you bought a Surrey Detached home thinking you could always sell it. Now you're stuck between price cuts, dead showings, and renters asking for discounts. Stick around to the end because I'm going to show you the one exit plan most owners miss that save years of stress. If you're watching this and nodding, you're not alone. This is not about Surrey failing. This is about how the market actually works right now versus how people think it works. Because on paper, people keep saying Surrey is balanced, rates are down, things are stabilizing, and yet your phone isn't ringing, your offers aren't coming, and your rent expectations are getting punched in the face. That disconnect is the nightmare. So let's strip this down into reality. Surrey Detached homes are no longer selling on optimism, they are selling on risk reduction. Buyers are no longer asking, can I stretch into this? They're asking, what could go wrong with this house? And every detached home that fails that test sits. And here's the truth you need to hear. A balanced market is not a friendly market. Balanced means buyers have options, and options kill urgency. In a low inventory market, buyers forgive flaws. In a market with choice, flaws are complete deal breakers. That's why good houses are struggling. Now let's talk about why Surrey Detached owners are feeling trapped specifically. So let's talk about the three-sided squeeze. Right now we're in a three-sided squeeze. You're getting hit from three directions at one time. Side number one is price pressure. Detached prices are down year over year. Not collapsing, but enough that leverage is gone. If you bought, refinanced, or upgraded in the last few years, you don't really have much margin. Every price reduction feels like a loss, not a negotiation. Side number two is the buyer behavior. Buyers are slow, analytical, and unemotional. They compare everything. They walk away easily, they don't chase listings anymore, and they wait for weakness. Side number three is the rental reality. Renting is no longer automatic. Tenants are starting to negotiate harder, vacancies happen, and top of market rent is not guaranteed at all. So when selling doesn't work and renting doesn't relieve the pressure, that's when the stress can really start to sit in, and that is the nightmare. So let's talk about who gets stuck first. This is critical. The market doesn't punish all detached homes equally. It punishes specific types. And if you own one of these, you should probably pay attention. Type 1, we're going to talk about the normal house problem. This is the biggest one. Your house is fine. It's not bad. It's not special. It's an average lot on an average street with an average layout, but you need an above average price. Buyers don't reward normal anymore. They reward clear value or clear quality. Normal at a premium price will sit forever. Type number 2 is the dated confidence killer. This is where deals quietly die. Old kitchen, old bathrooms, older roof, windows, furnace, or drainage. Even if everything still works, buyers don't really care. They see future risk. In the back of their head, they're always going to add a renovation budget. Then they add emotional buffer. Then they subtract it from your price. And that's how a $50,000 gap becomes a $150,000 pricing gap. For type number 3, we're going to talk about the suite dependent house. This one can be dangerous. If your mortgage only works because of a perfect basement rent, you don't own a house, you own a fragile business. One vacancy, one bad tenant, one repair. Now you're underwater emotionally and financially. Suites still matter in Surrey, but the margin for error is completely gone. Type number 4 is a location reality check. Buyers now care more about micro-location than ever. Busy roads, school congestion, parking shortages, awkward access, noise. In a tight market, buyers tolerate this. However, when there's a lot of choice, they completely avoid it. They don't negotiate, they just move on. Type number 5 is overbuilt for the street. Luxury expectations without luxury surroundings. High price, high finishes, but average neighborhood. Buyers at that price point want everything to align. If that one thing feels off, the deal dies. Now let's deal with the emotional trap. Most owners don't make bad decisions, they make no decisions. They tell themselves, I'll wait one more month, or let's see what spring does, or rates will fix this, thinking it feels safe. But waiting in a carrying cost market is very expensive. So let's talk about some of the solutions. There are only 3 real paths, and anything else is pretty much just denial. Path number 1 is sell with intent. Selling is not giving up. Selling is choosing certainty, but it only works if you play it correctly. Here's the mistake. Owners price where they want the market to be and not where it is. In a high choice market, your listing gets categorized fast. Buyers decide in seconds whether you're a must see, a maybe later, or just a complete waste of time. If you land in maybe later, you're pretty much done. So if you sell, you must price to create urgency, not defend ego. Be the best option in your bracket and remove confidence killers before buyers use them against you. Speed matters more than squeezing that last dollar, because here's the brutal truth. The longer the listing sits, the worse the final price gets. Path number 2 is to rent with realism. Renting is a tool, not a fallback. It works only if it reduces stress. So ask yourself this: if the rent comes in $300 lower than expected, can you still breathe? If the answer is no, renting can be very risky. Smart rental moves right now look like this: pricing slightly under market to attract quality tenants fast, optimizing the suite for simplicity and durability, and planning for vacancy and repairs, not hoping that they don't happen. If you need perfection, then the plan is broken. Path number 3 is to hold with a strategy. Holding is not passive. Holding means preparing the asset to win later on. That requires 3 things. 1 is a financing review. Even small changes in structure can buy breathing room. 2 is cost control. Insurance, utilities, preventative maintenance. Cash bleed kills holding plans quietly. Number 3 is repositioning. You don't need a full reno, you need buyer confidence. The kitchen feel, the main bath feel, overall maintenance signal, and that's what protects the resale later on. If you're holding without improving anything, you're not holding, you're hoping. And here's the exit plan most owners miss. This is the most important part of the video, and almost nobody does this math. You need to compare 2 numbers. Number 1, your total 12-month holding cost. Mortgage minus the realistic rent, plus taxes, plus insurance, plus maintenance, plus vacancy. Number 2, your true cost to exit today. The sale price reality less the realtor fees, the legal, mortgage penalties, and whichever number is smaller is usually the correct move, even if it hurts emotionally. This one calculation saves people years of stress, anxiety, and bad sleep. For families watching this, detached is still powerful, but only if you bought correctly. So today's detached rules are: location beats size, condition beats potential, cash flow flexibility beats hope, not to buy stress disguised as a house. For investors, negative cash flow is not evil, forced negative cash flow is. If the market controls your timing, you lose. Best investors right now buy with margin, or they wait. If you're stuck and want clarity, just shoot me a text at 604-288-7592. I'll tell you straight whether you should sell, rent, or hold, and whatever makes sense in your situation. No pressure, no sugarcoating. And if you're buying in Surrey or Langley, I'll also tell you which detached homes to avoid so you don't buy yourself into this nightmare. Because here's the lesson: markets don't punish ownership, they punish indecision. And the fastest way out of stress is choosing a direction and executing. That's how you win in this type of market. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.